causing a divide between stylists and the natural hair community.
That's a good one.
We're going there.
Woo!
What's up, y'all? What's Papa locking? Y'all, we are here to talk about hair. Natural hair community.
Yeah.
Stylists. All the things. So yes, this is our hair type popping conversation. My name is Janae. I also go by Nate Curly. I am a full-time influencer that talks about hair, life, faith, all the things, okay? And I have one of my favorite hairstylists here today because I go to the salon. Yeah. And today we have Jaja. I just want her to introduce herself fully, but I'm ready to chat with y'all. Let's go.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Hello, my sugar. I am your natural hair stylist. I have been styling natural hair here in Detroit, Michigan for 13 years. Woo! Yeah. And that's what I have. I'm the owner of Free to Love You Salon in Detroit, Michigan. That is going on 2 years this year. So excited about that. And yes, I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. It's really hard to find people that you can trust with your hair sometimes, right? Okay. And so once I was introduced to her, I forgot how we met.
We met at the natural.
That's
Naturally Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was doing somebody's hair, and I was like, "That's what's happening." He was doing somebody's hair, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at her!" Yeah. Like it's rare. So when you find somebody, you stick with them, and so that's why she's here today. Okay. Yeah. She knows what she's talking about. Oh. You see the hair? Okay. Pay attention. So there's a lot to learn from her, and I just kind of want to dive straight in. And with these questions, y'all ready? We're gonna go there today. How did you get started and interested in hair care?
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to beauty school days. So I'm a graduate from Virginia Farrell, graduated in 2009. And when you first start off as a stylist, you kind of dib and dab into everything because you're still learning yourself as a stylist, and you want to, of course, build clientele. So you just kind of just throw yourself out there. And I would say by my 4th year of being a stylist, which is around the same time I was just had my second child, Zion, I had begun to have breakage in my hair. I was experimenting with a lot of color at that time on myself. Mm-hmm. And my hair started breaking, and the only way I could fix it was to cut it all off. So, amidst of going through that process, I also became more mindful about representing myself in such a way for my daughter, for Zion. And I wanted to, show forth more of a self-love image so that I can be a good example for her as well. Mm-hmm. So, with chopping my hair off, of course, I am doing research on YouTube.
YouTube University.
On YouTube University. And because in beauty school, they're not focusing on natural hair care. They are, giving you your basics for your state board. That is the intentions for your beauty school education. You're learning about your perms, your relaxers, basic coloring, the things you need to get your license. But in regards to black women, black men, natural kinky hair, that is not in focus in a cosmetology setting. Mm-hmm. So I decided to use the knowledge that I did learn, and it helped me to be intentional based off the research that I was doing on YouTube, just watching those that were using products, learning the dialect in the community, honey. I said, yes, it's a whole new world. And I also started off with, experimenting with some of my clients. I had a lot of press and curls. I wasn't big on relaxers, but I knew how to, apply them and also keep the hair healthy. And, just going along with that process, I decided to big chop all my hair, start all over, and I used myself as my own, tester in a sense before I started doing my clients' hair or starting more advertising myself as a natural hairstylist. So it's kind of like the natural hair called me in a sense. And then God laid it out for me and said, this is what you're gonna do. And so I followed, went through the process, and here I am.
Here she is.
Here I go.
How about that? What about natural hair or curly hair? Because, you know, people are still natural even though they wear it straight. You know, I just want to make sure, don't want any problems.
Okay.
And so, what about natural hair or curly hair moves you the most to help and educate others?
Got you. So what moves me is the ability to use specific techniques to teach my clients on how to define their curls. I love defining curly hair, kinky curly hair. I have a technique that I have mastered. I don't want to say that I created it.
She created it,
but
it's hers.
I mastered the technique, and I intentionally use it on my shorter 4 type clients. Yes, and it's really towards the TWA lane. So just I love curl defining kinky hair. I love making it look polished. I love creating shapes so that even if it's not perfect, it is still funky and professional. And you know, my clients walk out and I tell them, okay, you guys are going to be celebrities from now on. Everywhere you go, they're going to stop you. Just be prepared. So I love curl defining kinky hair, and being able to show them how to style their hair, how to properly care for their hair. Less is more. Okay? Less is more.
Uh-oh, feedback.
Less is more. Work with what you have. Like, we have so many different representation when it comes to our hair type. Mm-hmm. But there's no need to try to make it something that is not. So the better and the more you are accepting of what you have going on already, the easier and more fun your journey is going to be.
Can you define for them what you mean by less is more?
Less is more. Products, less is more. Sticking to your basics, which is your shampoo. We went back to the basics. We ain't just doing co-washes, but we are talking about cleansing shampoos. We're talking about moisturizing shampoos. We're talking about a good conditioner. We're talking about a good just leave-in and a styler. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeeze.
And that's on that. I just want her to break that down for y'all, okay? Because I know for me, sometimes I'm like, all of it. Like, you know, I'm just like, take your time.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all of it. Like, right now, I'm looking like just one product for my, like, just a mousse for my twist out. And I'm like, why didn't I do this before? Like, so it's just interesting with how you can be moved by what the community is doing versus what your hair is asking for.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the biggest thing I've learned with being this for years and also being around stylists. If y'all can go to a salon and realize they don't use much, and I'll be sitting there like, how? Because if you look at my cabinet back at home, I have the whole Target shelf. And so that's what kind of made me think about just people like me that decide to use all these products. Anything else you can say towards that?
Yes. One thing I would say, and what I've learned about working with clients that have transitioned from their relaxed hairstyles or even being pressed and curled, and now they want to wear their natural curl. Your natural hair is not going to have the same feel of your silk press or your relaxed hair. So we're thinking that our hair is damaged because it doesn't have that silky feeling, and that's not the case. So understanding that when you are transitioning from relaxing hair or press and curl, silk press hair, to wearing your hair naturally curly, is not going to have that same feel nor look shiny like we're used to. And that's okay. That's how our natural hair is supposed to be. And so we feel that we have to apply all these products to keep it from drying out like it's gonna.
Oh, she reading that?
Oh, honey,
y'all feel ready?
Like it's gonna dry out and y'all be walking around here bald headed because it's not silky, and that's not what's going on. You know, so it's like you have to renew your mind and accept what you have, work with it, and just go with the flow, go with the journey. find things that work for your texture, the styles that will last for your hair. You don't have to keep manipulating it every day. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, whatever perfect means to you. But that is something that I've learned with working with clients that have transitioned from the relaxed state to a natural hair state. You look good. Your hair is good. Okay? All right.
What do you think is causing a divide between stylists and the natural hair community?
That's a good one.
We're going there.
Woo! I believe it starts with beauty school. It starts with cosmetology school. That is the foundation of our career, if you will. Stylists are not educating themselves, okay, to service a lot of our natural hair needs, if you will. So there is a divide. There's a divide in time scheduling. There's a divide in what the client is looking for and what the stylist can actually do. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. As I stated before, the reason I am so passionate about the community is because I actually had to be in the community, if that makes sense. So I can't help someone if I don't know what I'm talking about for myself. So I had to go out and do that actual education so that I can relate to those that I'm servicing. Yeah, it's deeper than just looking good, styling hair, and you guys walk out the room. We're working together. Wow. I'm not just doing all the work. After you leave me, you still have things you have to do on your own. Not saying there's a whole bunch of things you have to do. It's just the point of how are you sleeping? How do you take a shower? Is your bonnet on? You know, just those things like that. Like working with your doctor and the patient on innocent. So yeah, stylists have, they still have a long way to go if that is something that they desire to do.
So I think my question from what you just stated was, what I'm hearing is that stylists aren't educating themselves. What is something on the client's end that you've noticed, or that as a client that we can improve on when we do come in, or then when we do express ourselves on what we're looking for, and also the trust factor that we should have?
Absolutely. I believe what clients can do is, like I said before, keep it simple. A lot of comparison with someone else's hair. They'll go and they'll say, oh, I have a friend that's named such and such, and she does her hair like this. And of course, me being a stylist that's working with all types of textures, I will say, okay, that's cool. And they say, well, can we try? Sure, you know, and then they'll come back the next week like, yeah, no, it didn't work out. Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna work out, you know, but it's a journey as well. And I'm the type of stylist that if you want to try something, and even if I don't think it's gonna be what is best for you, I'll still go through the process so that we can both learn and see what it is that will work best for your style, whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever the curl definition you think you're gonna have, the elongation you think you're gonna have, but comparing yourself to other people and how they do their hair versus what needs to be done to your hair is something that I have challenges with my clients.
Stop that. It's just so crazy too how quickly we do that, and you be like, oh, I want my hair just like hers. You be like, we gotta know how we don't know how her hair truly is for it to lay like that, do like that. And that's what the biggest thing I think I've learned, even in natural hair, just trying to do videos for people. I'm like, my hair, this is my hair. This is what my hair can be. Okay? Yeah. I don't know what your hair can do. You're not gonna call me later and say your hair didn't work. What I've noticed for people is that what they're concerned about too is trims. So they'll go and say like, hey, I'm a naturalista, but I don't want my hair flat ironed or anything like that. I'm not gonna put heat in my hair, but I want my hair, I want to trim. I know I need a trim. Yeah. So for them, we're just glad that they're even taking a step to not trim it themselves. Okay? Because I remember I still did a video on how I trim my own hair, and I just regret it. I need to take it down. Now look at that video.
No, keep it up.
Keep it up.
That shows your growth.
Okay, because
shows your growth.
I don't know how I cut that hair. I looked back later, I said, Janae, it's uneven. I looked at footage, I said, okay. But what do you tell people kind of stuck on not wanting to do that? Or
Yeah. So I would say you don't have to trim as often like you would if your hair was press and curled or flat iron. You go based off how often, in my opinion, you're going based off how often you manipulate your hair. If your hair is colored, you have chemical treated hair, that is going to cause the ends to split more, so you want to pay attention to that. If the hair is tangling more, if the ends are starting to look thin at the end, then you want to trim more. So my average length of trimming for a natural hair client or naturalista is every 3 to, I would say, 6 months. Okay. If you're not retwisting every night, you can go longer because you're not touching your hair like you used to when your hair was straight, or like if you would wear a pressing curl. You're not wrapping it at night. You're not brushing it every day. So to keep the ends from splitting, you don't want to manipulate all the time. So you don't have to trim the ends all the time. But a good 3 months to 6 month trim is good. And do not be scared of blow drying the hair before you get your ends trimmed. In my opinion, that is the best way to make sure that the hair is an even trim and that you're not cutting too much off. When your hair is smooth, you can see what you're trimming, versus when it's curly, it looks kind of all blended in. When the hair is smooth, you can see the difference between the new hair and the old ends that need to be trimmed off. As well as making sure that you get a nice even cut and the shape of the hair when it's blown out. It doesn't have to be flat iron for your ends to be trimmed, but I do recommend that the hair is smooth with a blow dryer, which is not going to cause any heat damage. It is air, hot air, that is blowing the hair and making it smooth, and it's not going to cause damage. And that is the best way to trim kinky 4 type hair. Yes.
and see, and that's her opinion. I know a lot of y'all probably in the comments like, but like honestly, like when I think about that, because at first I wanted a curly cut. I was like, you know what, we should do curly cuts. And I was like, but it was so many people like, but my hair's not gonna leave my that. But that works if you don't plan to wear it straight, right?
Absolutely.
But what I noticed is that because I have multiple textures, my hair, you can cut it even. It can look even in the curly state, but let me try to blow dry it. Now I'm doing this. And my last thing concerning trims is that, what can you say to a person, or how can you encourage a person to come in and get a trim? What would you say, or what should they be looking for in a stylist or something like that?
What should they be looking for in a stylist to trim their hair?
Because you know, like, they don't want to come to get a trim because they think they're going to cut it.
Consultations. That's it. Consult with the stylist. Have her examine your hair in the blown out state so that she can see. Let her know, look, I don't want to have that much trimmed off, or what do you think needs to be trimmed? Before she even takes the shear, she's going to look at it. She's going to hopefully even show you, look, this is how much I'm going to trim off. If that's too much and she's not willing to compromise, then don't you get your hair trimmed.
And don't give her your money.
Don't give her no money. Don't do that. No. So consultation is very important to have before any services with a stylist. Very important.
Sorry, I'm going to also say him. You guys are stylists, my bad.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
so my last question of the day, I thought these were great conversations. Honestly, I could go longer. But my last question of the day is, what's next? What's next?
I am going to be relocating to Chicago, Illinois. Actually, the city is going to be Homewood, Illinois, which is about 40 minutes from Chicago. I am looking to relocate in the summer. I'm not positive on when I will be accepting clients. However, it will be before the end of the year. And that is what's new there. I'm going to be starting Free to Love You is going to be moving with me. And yeah, you can always reach out to me on Instagram, Free to Love You 11. You can follow me on Facebook, Jaja Proche. And I will make sure that I'm updating you guys and keeping you posted on when I will be accepting new clients. Because I have not had any new clients in a long
What a
time.
blessing.
So I'm excited to get some new people back in my chair in a new environment, a new city, a new space, and I'm so excited about that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So she said, keep up with her. Make sure y'all do that. I'll put all her socials right here, right? And so, once again, thank you for having this conversation with me. This
Yes.
She moving. But it's good. We like to level up, right? Keep going.
Yes.
Thank y'all for tuning in and let me know what you learned. You have some, other thoughts. We can talk.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Please.
We're ready. But once again, this is just something that I wanted to do, and I think it's super fun and just also educational and just allowing us to have an open conversation and really grow in this community, especially in the natural hair community, and particularly stylists, okay? All stylists are that, people. Okay?
Yes.
We good. But yes, I will see y'all in the next one. All right.